What is going on, guys? It is Patrick here, and today we are back with another top 5. We're 1 year strong in the top 5s, and we are still going strong. Guys, today we're going to be going over the top 5 biggest maps in Call of Duty Zombies. So what maps basically have the most accessible area or space? If you guys want to leave a like on this video, that would be very, very cool. But anyways, let's get into it. Coming in at our number 5 spot, we have Mob of the Dead. Now, Mob of the Dead is a huge map. It's very expansive. You've got the cells, the infirmary, the rooftop, the laundry, the tunnels, the docks, and of course, the Golden Gate Bridge. There's a lot of stuff to this map. But what I really like about Mob of the Dead is that everything serves a purpose. Treyarch did a really good job about not only making a gigantic map, but making it gigantic for a reason. They didn't just make it big to be big. They made it big because there was so much stuff, like the plane parts and everything, that they really needed all that space. And that's what I like about this map. You're never like, oh, why does this place exist? Why do I have to go here? I mean, it's kind of annoying when you're training at like the cafeteria. You gotta go all the way down to Jug. But I mean, even so, everything serves a purpose, like I said, and there was no wasted space on this map. It was big because it needed to be big, not because they wanted it to be big, and I think that is a really, really awesome thing that Treyarch did. It's not the biggest map in Call of Duty Zombies, but anyways, it comes in at number 5. Moving down to the number 4 spot on our list, we have Call of the Dead. Now, at first glance, I was going to put this way higher up on the list, but I actually realized that Call of the Dead is not as big as it seems. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a huge map, but definitely not as big as it seems. Now, think about it. We've got the boat, we've got the lighthouse, we've got lighthouse area, and kind of like interconnecting places, and that's it. I feel like this map is a lot bigger than it seems because number one, it's so open. You can see everything from the boat, you can see everything from the lighthouse, and you just looking at it, it's like, whoa. But a lot of that space is just kind of not really usable, not really accessible, if that makes sense. It's just a lot of like winding trails to get to places or just looping in and back around itself. And really, although it's a huge map, I don't think it's as big as it seems. It looks really big because it's so open, whereas like you think Mob of the Dead, everything's so closed off, yet that's still a huge map, right? Very, very big map, but yeah, comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have Origins from Black Ops 2 Zombies. Now, this was another map that really threw me off, but in the other direction. I really thought Origins was smaller than it actually is. So when you think about Origins, you think 3 areas. You have the trenches, so Gen 1, 2, and 3. You have the main sort of excavation site, which is Gen 4 and 5. And then you have the back church, which is Gen 6. It's like, okay, pretty large map, but I've seen bigger. And then you start thinking, well, you've got the main chamber, you've got 4 tunnels, and then you've got Agartha, which really, really adds a lot to the map. Not to mention the entire tank route, which adds a lot as well. So although it feels small, when you really think about everything and every little place you could go, Origins is a huge, huge map. And I mean, it's one of the few maps in Black Ops 2 Zombies that they have stamina up, and they needed it in that map. Because just think about it, like, if you are in an area and your teammate goes down and they're far away, that teammate is likely gonna die. I mean, if you've got a good player that can just sprint all the way there, you're probably gonna hopefully get them, but it's not guaranteed ever. I mean, it's such a huge map, and looping around it, oh my god, Origins is gigantic when you really, really break it down and think about it. So Origins comes in at number 3. Alright guys, we're going to move down to the number 2 spot on our list now, and that is going to be Moon. Now Moon is a map that's almost so big, it's intimidating. You've got all this area that just kind of stretches out in this really long, windy way. It's hard to get a vibe for just how big this map is, but let's think about it. So you spawn in Area 51, and that's not a huge area, but I would say it's probably the size of maybe Noct, Bus Depot. It's not huge, but it's definitely adding some size to the map in and of itself. Now you spawn in at the moon itself, you've got the spawn, that little area below it, then you've got 2 giant flowing tunnels to the pyramid area, which is pretty big in and of itself, and you've got the space station area. That's like 2 large rooms. Then you've got outside by the teleporter, nice little training spot there. But what adds the size to this map, what really makes it a gigantic, makes it take the gap from big to huge, is the biodome. The biodome is a map in and of itself. It could literally just have a side map like Transit Head Town. Moon could have biodome. It's massive. Okay, the biodome is like the size of maybe Shinonuma or Doris. It's really, really, really big. And I really need to stress the fact that it's really big. Okay, I'm making fun of myself a little bit, but you get my vibe. It is just such a gigantic map. And like I said, it's hard to kind of get a feel for it because there's just so much flowing and everything, and it's so big. But when you get teleported by that astronaut and you're all the way across the map, you really understand, wow, I've got a long ways to walk. And coming in at number 1 on our list of the top 5 biggest maps in Call of Duty Zombies, guys, it has got to be, without a doubt, Transit. Now, Transit actually wins this on a technicality, as this top 5 was based around the maps with the most accessible area, not usable area. So what I mean is, think about Transit. You've got the bus depot, the tunnel, the diner, the farm, the power station, the cabin in the woods, the town, and Nocturne Toten. So it's a lot of area. But what makes this map so big, and what makes this from being somewheres in the top 5 to absolutely, positively, 100% number 1, is the areas in between each subsection of the map. When you count that area, which you do have to do because technically it's accessible, even though there's face rapers, it becomes the biggest map. I swear to God, probably 3 times bigger than Moon. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's an exaggeration, but it's huge. I swear to God, you could fit like Shangri-La in the area just between the farm and the power station. You could probably fit all of World at War and Shangri-La just in the areas in between Transit. That's how big this map is. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this top 5. We're going to end it there. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode.